ball. Out it goes to Larry Smith, then to Parker. Parker top of the key, lobbed one to Bernard, posting Wedman, baseline turnaround. Good! He's 10 for 10. 63-58. Bernard now already has 24. Here's Phil Ford top of the key against Luke. Bounces one into Lacey, fakes to a cutter, dribbles away to the foul line with Carroll on him. Now to Wedman, gets wide open at the edge of the key and buries a 15-footer. King got rubbed into a double screen and couldn't get through it. Nobody jumped out. For the Warriors. Lucas on the left side now. They're back down again by 7 to the foul line. Out of control. Double team effort, and it goes into the hands of Lacey. Lacey up to Wedman. Now to Ford. 4-on-2. Down the lane. Scores! And it's a 9-point deficit, and the Warriors slipping out of it. Arrows wants to talk it over early in this quarter. 10:27 to go, third quarter. Scoreboard showing KC 67, the Warriors 58.
The New York steak dinner at Denny's starts with more than a half-pound loin of beef. Aged just.
Bill King back here at the Kemper Arena as the Warriors now need to find a way to lift themselves. Lucas now getting pressure by Reggie King, brings it across. Works toward the top of the key, back to Parker. Now to Bernard at the left side. Bernard lobs one to Carroll on a roll to the hoop. We got a whistle and a foul. He went on to hook it in, but after the foul call on Wedman, Scott picks up his third. He joins Hawkeye Whitney in that category. Most of the Warriors' scoring, though, has come from the inside. They have not been able to get that outside punch going, and that's why they miss free so much. There's Lucas for the ball. Now to high-posting Carroll. Hounded by Lacey, dribbles, whips a pass that Lacey breaks up, goes out of bounds. Ford gives chase, but in futility. And it'll be a Warrior ball again, down to 15 seconds of the shot timer. Bernard King will make the inbound pass, drops it off to Luke. Luke comes across the top, looking for King, running a baseline pattern, comes up high, takes the pass against Wedman. One-on-one drives, beats in, goes to the hoop. We got a whistle. His shot was blocked, but the foul call is on Bernard. They say that he charged. Offensive foul is third. As he drove the left side of the lane against Wedman. Ford starts up the floor with the ball now. Warriors in a tight battle with 4 teams in the Pacific Division. Like to pick this one up. They've got Boston and Philly this weekend. It'll be tough. Here it goes to Wedman. Triple team. Bounce it out to Lacey on top. One bounce dribble. Gives it up to King. Back to Wedman straight away. Stripped to the ball, but he gets it back away from Bernard King. Pass the left. It out of bounds. Probably the best defensive sequence the Warriors have had. They need a lot of that. They're down by 9 here. 67-58 as Lucas cruises forecourt. Top of the key. Now reverses on Ford. Foul line jumper. No good. Back iron. Carroll between 2 men. Rebounds. Muscles it up. It's blocked by Lacey. Comes up to Grunfeld. Back to Ford. Ford burns it down the middle. Slows up against Lucas. Bounds into the lane. Flips off a high pass. Off of Grunfeld and out of bounds because the high pass was tipped by the finger of Parker and Grunfeld couldn't make the adjustment. Warriors get it back. They were 31 all at the quarter, but outgunned in the second quarter, 32-25. Bernard on the left side now. Jump switch by Lacey. Looking to Carroll, who's being guarded by Wedman. The ball knocked away. Ford gets a steal. They got a loose ball foul on whom? Lacey bellowing to Crawford. It's on Bernard King, who was with Ford after the ball. The ball was deflected by Lacey. Ford picked it off, rocketed up the floor, and Bernard slammed into him, which was the correct call. Loose ball, and that's 4. And now the Warriors are getting deeper in the kettle of soup. 67-58. Ford on the left side. Bounce pass to Wedman. Starts for the lane. Double clutch flip shot. Goes in! And a foul call. No. Loose ball. He held up, Garrettson held up number 15. Who is it? The score is counted by Wedman. They call a loose ball foul on him. He was following it up because it bounced around. An odd call not seen too frequently, and the fans react negatively following the lead of Cotton Fitzsimmons. 69-58. Wedman ruled to have been, I guess, over the shoulder of King. There was a jam in there. If anything, Bernard jumped back into him. It was a very splitting-the-hair call. He might have nudged Larry Smith a little bit in the back, too. But it's one you usually don't see made. Here's Short on the right side, guarded by Whitney, who's down in the game. short has come in for Bernard. Right side to Carroll, deep to short. Turnaround jumper, blocked by Lacey. Short gets it back, launches a 12-footer, won't go. He was out of rhythm. Lacey the rebound. Outlet to Ford. Ford burning a 3-on-1. Deals to Grunfeld. Parker fouls him and blocking his would-be layup. He'll go for 2. Kansas City really in the ascendancy now. They really have gained control of the game. Parker that time was just hoping to block the shot and get away with it. He blocked the shot, but he had to go over a part of the body, and Grunfeld at the foul line.
Union 76 and your neighborhood Union 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76.
He rattles one out, no good. Parker, in fact, did a good job to get as much of the ball as he did a moment ago. Usually in that situation, the man coming in, filling the lane to lay it up like Grunfeld will hesitate just an instant, and the defender will fly by. But Parker managed to body control enough to reach back and get it. 1 out of 2 for Grunfeld, 70-58. Warriors offense dead in the water. Pass to Smith. He dropped it. It's picked up by nobody yet. Smith gets it back. Right side to Parker. The Warriors offense looks totally out of sync now. Lucas fakes a set, feeds to Parker. Good swarming D. Now to Luke, top of the key. Nobody getting open. Adams takes him nervously. Into Carroll in the post. Stripped to the ball by Whitney. Whitney leads past to Ford. Ford 2-on-1 underhand to Grunfeld. Fills the lane. Blows it under the pressure of Parker. Taken by Smith out front. Back to Luke. Luke drives. Falls away on a 10-footer that doesn't go. Smith tipped it, doesn't go. Carroll rebounds. Whirls. 8-footer left baseline. Air ball. Down to Lacey. Baseball pass the other end. Ford driving. Parker can't get there, and he scores. 72-58. 7 straight by Kansas City. Another Warrior timeout. 7:42 to go. Third quarter. Kings 72, Warriors 58.
Excuse me. I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. You know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this. For
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
We all tend to take our legal rights for granted until we need them. But if you're involved in an auto accident or accused of driving under the influence or find yourself in any situation where you're unsure of your legal rights, call For the Defense. An experienced attorney will discuss with you what you can and should expect under the law. There's no charge for the initial consultation, and should you need representation, your attorney at For the Defense can speak for you aggressively and honestly. Call For the Defense at 548-3000.
KTVU, Oakland, San Francisco.
Once again, a reminder of future dates. Dallas, Wednesday, January 7th on the half-price night in the $7 section. Detroit, Saturday, January 10th, the only appearance of the Pistons this year. And the operators wait to take your call right now at 638-6000 and charge your ticket order to your MasterCharge or Visa card. Check your schedule. You can charge any future Warrior game that way during our telecast. Warriors have scored 2 points in 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Larry Smith drives the lane. Left-hand shovel won't go, but he may go on the line. He will. Lacey fouled him. It was 63-56 at halftime. The two teams exchange baskets, and then it's been a 9-point run for the Kansas City Kings that Smith will try to wipe out here. 72-58. And during that air ball, holy Toledo. During that mile run, in which it's more Warriors' inability to score than Kansas City's great surge, there's the shot good. It was just a 9-2 run. All right, 72-59. Ford with the ball, top of the key. A bounce past the left to Grunfeld. In now to Lacey. Fakes, pitch to Ford. Open left corner jumper. Lucas not near him. He hits. And Kansas City now slicing up the Warrior defense. 74-59. Romar getting off the Warrior bench. Lucas bounces one to Larry Smith on top. Then over to Parker. Ford everywhere. Knocks it away. Lucas gets it back. 12 seconds of the timer. Now into Carroll. Posting. Drives in on Lacey with a turn hook. It's goaltended by Whitney on the downward flight. Carroll gets his first score of the second half, and only the Warriors' second basket in 5 minutes of the second half. Lacey didn't try to go for the shot. Whitney just went over the top at the height of trajectory and knocked it down. Here's Ford bouncing one to Grunfeld. Warriors 13 down. Now to Ford. Feeds it to Whitney. Drives into the lane. Down the slot. A draw shot won't go, and he's hacked by Smith. Ford could be short. It's short. Romar coming into the game for Lucas now. Whitney goes to the line. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Warriors Basketball Network. Warriors being stampeded right now. 75-61. Whitney has made 1 and 2. JB, with that goaltending call a moment ago, has only 6 points. Lacey back there harrying the inbound pass, and now Larry Smith brings it into Romar. The Warriors seem to have not been able to function as a unit since the first quarter, deteriorating gradually without anything to bring them together. Short top of the key. He and Parker are handling it right now, but Romar and Parker are the guards. Parker pressured by Grunfeld. Nobody moving off the ball. Over to Short on the right. He drives on Whitney down the lane. Stripped to the ball. Taken by Lacey. Out to Ford. 2-on-1. Dish to Whitney. Slam. Won't go. Rebound. Ford to the hoop. Deals a bell-high pass to Whitney, who scores underneath. Bill Ford is rocket propelled tonight. Here's Romar into the fourth court with the ball now. 78-61. Warriors being blown out now. 15-5 in the quarter. Carroll gets away and turns. His jam is blocked. He's fouled by Whitney. He wheeled away from the overplaying Lacey. The foul is on Whitney. It'll be 2 shots for JB. Hey, Whitney is quite an athlete. 6'5", very strong. Basically a forward, but he's played well at guard tonight, and they have swung him all year. Lambert comes into the ballgame as Whitney's picked up his 4th. Actually, in this instance, Whitney has been at forward for Wedman for a few minutes. First shot good by Carroll. Ricky Brown coming in for Larry Smith. 78-62. Warriors have a long way back to go to get back. First thing they've got to do is shut off Kansas City right now. The Kings have been the running team tonight. In the 2 games earlier this year, the Warriors did most of the running. 78-63, a pair down by JB. Here's Ford jogging into the fourth court, whirls on Romar, bobs, weaves, goes off to the right, carries the ball. He got a little out of control. Ford took over the league lead in assists with 9 this week. Norm Nixon of the Lakers is second. Michael Ray Richardson of New York is third. Lucas of the Warriors is 7th. 78-63 now. Short out high. Lambert guarding. Now to Carroll. Pass inside. Broken up. We had a foul call inside on Reggie King, I believe. Yep. Warriors were trying to flash Ricky Brown into the post when Carroll had to come out and take the pass on the side. And Reggie was making the challenge for position there. Brown on the line. Reggie King has really been an increasingly larger factor for Kansas City, a club that has had its troubles when it had to go to the bench with any depth. Been their leading rebounder. He's picked up the scoring tempo early in the year. He struggled a lot. Ricky Brown missed his first free throw. Warriors' free throwing has been way off tonight. He gets this one. 78-64. Brown guarding Reggie King. Short will be on the taller Lambert. Carroll, of course, on Lacey. Here's Lacey up high with the ball. Carroll drops off a little bit. Shoots a jumper from 16. Oh, it's off the glass. Didn't even draw iron. Take it off by Short. Up to Romar. Romar mid-court with the ball. Top of the key. Works to the right. Puts it over the head. Looks to Carroll. Nothing there. Carroll directs it a different direction. He goes around the horn. Finally to Brown on the left. Back out to Parker. And on top to Romar. Still nothing open. Now he dribbles to the foul line. Whips one to Parker. Curling under to score from the right side. Came across left to right. And the Warriors try to get some momentum here and start something back in trying to get back into the ballgame while Kansas City calls for the timeout at this juncture. We have 5:03 to go now in the third quarter. Kings leading it by a margin of 12. We have some updates on the other games. Seattle trying to break its 3-game losing streak at San Antonio, and they're hanging in tough. Leading San Antonio 61-50. They had a 38-point second quarter for Seattle. 38-26, so that's a big jump for them. Meantime, San Diego is down, trying for a 7th straight win at Houston. It's Houston 36, San Diego 25. At the half in Washington, Milwaukee 61, the Bullets 46. At the end of 3 in Atlanta, Hawks 75, Detroit 56. At the half in New York, the Knicks 83, the always stubborn Dallas Mavericks 75. And at the quarter in Chicago, the Bulls, in quest of a 6th straight win, are trailing by 1 to the Nets, 35-34. Indiana, Denver, LA at Utah, Boston at Phoenix, Philadelphia at Portland tonight. The Warriors started the night 2.5 games ahead of the basement. They're in 3rd place. That's how tight the pack is. The Warriors are in 3rd. Portland's a 1.5 back and in 4th. San Diego's 2 games back and in 5th, and Seattle is 2.5 back and in the 6th spot. So a loss here could certainly make the Warriors vulnerable to increasingly hotter pursuit by all of the 3 teams below them. All right, here comes Ford into the forecourt against Romar's retreating defense. Carroll trying to overplay the pass to the center. The pass goes to Lacey. Lacey, the 11-year veteran, dribbles once, gives it to King. Back over to Ford. Open in the left corner. Goes baseline all the way. Leaves it off on the right side to Lambert. Then in the lane to Reggie. He dribbles. He shoots. He gets. We got a whistle. The foul call on Brown. That'll be number 4 on Ricky. The basket counts, and Reggie King to the line, 2 to make 1. Warrior bench was hollering that Reggie walked on the play. Ricky Brown burned with his 4th foul. Bernard King went to the bench earlier, and that really took what the scoring punch has been for the Warriors tonight out of the lineup. The shot is missed. Well, he did have only 1, not 2 to make 1. Here's Romar up the floor, misses a 10-foot jumper. Rebound in front taken by Parker. Down the lane, lobs it over to Short. Fakes Lambert out of the building. Shoots a jumper and it won't go, in and out. Rebound Brown, banks down a 5-footer. I was in error just like everybody here a moment ago. I thought Reggie King had 2 to make 1 when he missed the first one, and play continued. Everybody hollered, but that was the 4th team foul by the Warriors. That's why he had 1 only. Pass into Reggie posting up. Foul Brown, and that's number 5. Now he gets 1 and a penalty. Reggie King has been wearing the Warriors out of trying to stop him tonight. Larry Smith had trouble. He posts up very well. You can see that Ricky Brown was trying to give him pressure from behind. The only way I think you're going to play Reggie Smith effectively if he posts, you've got to try to deny. You got to play him on the side, on the hip. You got to circle him. That means there's got to be coordination on the defense for weak side help. Larry Smith is now back for Brown. But if you let him post up with you, the defender, behind him, lights are out. He's either going to score or you're going to foul him. Reggie makes the first. He has a penalty coming. Nobody seems to know what's going on. He does have a penalty coming. Darrell Garrettson straightens it all out. Anybody who comes from Long Point, Illinois, should be able to straighten it out. Here's the shot up, and it's around and out. Rebound flicked out. It goes to Romar. Romar up the floor on the left side. Hesitates on a pass, doesn't make it. Now bounce 1 deep to Larry Smith, fumbling, picks it up, goes to the hoop. He's jammed, and they call him for an offensive foul. He leaned into Reggie King. So Larry picks up number 4. Right now, the Warriors are like the proverbial guy who stumbles and can't quit stumbling. You just keep falling forward, forward, and forward. There's a foul inside, and guess who got fouled? Reggie King. Purvis Short fouled him. 1 and a penalty. Joe Crawford, he of the rabbit ears, looks over listening to Dick D'Oliva on the Warrior bench. Dallas tells Darrell Garrettson, get your mate's head in the game. Joe Crawford has modified his aggressive on-court demeanor a lot since he came into the league. I remember my first reaction was that he'd had stormtrooper training, and they found that was... Here's a shot missed after Reggie makes one. The league officiating powers said that he had to tone it down a little bit. Not everybody out there was an enemy. Here's Parker on the right side, 82-68. Back on top to Romar. Ford gambled and lost, and now fouls Romar on the dribble. Kansas City controlling the tempo of the game pretty much as they want. The Warriors' transition has been much flawed tonight, and Josie Merriweather is getting off the bench now for KC. Cotton Fitzsimmons ought to feel better about his bench these days, at least off this showing. Lacey comes out. This is in stark contrast to the Warriors' other appearance here. Romar throws one up that's not anywhere close. Warriors have an awful 16 for 30 tonight. No good. 16 for 31. Now in the backcourt, Phil Ford with the ball. Some nights you can't lay up a nickel, particularly if you're on television. Ford against Parker out front now. Now to Lambert. Romar has to guard the much bigger Grunfeld. They're trying to post Romar, but they can't get an angle on him. Now to top of the key to Merriweather. Over to Reggie King against Short. Head fake, turns, twist. Good D by Short. Pass out, broken up by Parker. Over to Romar. Romar up the floor, possible 3-on-2. Goes down the lane, splits two men, and the shot won't go on a bank. Rebound by Short won't go. Another tip does. Further Short, 82-70. Warriors are still within. Here's a drive by Ford. Zigs into the lane. Falls away to the left. Bank shot no good. Bounce rebound. Romar darts in front of Lambert. Comes out dribbling. They're pounding and hacking away, trying to get him. Romar shoots a pass over to Parker. Right corner to Short. 18-footer. Good. And for the first time in ages, the Warriors have back-to-back hoops. I started to say a moment ago, there's plenty of time for them to make a run and get back, but they've got to stabilize their game to do it. And it's hard with personnel being in foul trouble and the like. Ford working the offense over to Lambert on the right. Lambert has it stripped. It's loose. Picked up by Short. Romar's the guy who made the deflection. Up to Romar. Lorenzo stops. Pumps a jumper. Good on an 18-footer. And Cotton Fitzsimmons says, enough already. Timeout, KC. Well, the ebb and flow of an NBA game is one that defies prediction. The Warriors now, with a lineup that probably would not be the combo that Adams would normally have in the ballgame, suddenly begins to make rumblings of a comeback. It's 82-74. It's not that far back that it was 82-68. And before that, they were 15 down. Adams and John Bach now imparting what they can here to try to get this ball club in the mode in which they can continue the run. Kansas City, of course, Cotton Fitzsimmons recognizing that momentum is an elusive commodity and not wanting to let it get completely away from it. The KC defense has been extremely effective until the last few Warrior runs. Sam Lacey, I think, responsible for a lot of that, although Merriweather will block shots. Lacey is much more aggressive in helping out and exposing a lot of times, threatening the jump switch. We'll be broadcasting for you on the Warriors Radio Network on Friday night with a broadcast time at 7:45 as the Celtics meet the Warriors at 8. The only appearance this year of the Bostonians, who have won 10 in a row going into their big ball game tonight at Phoenix. Philadelphia on Saturday, of course, in their only appearance of the year in the Bay Area. And the rather bizarre scheduling that goes on in the name of, I'm not sure what, economy, division rivalry, and the like. Whitney has come back into the game. Grunfeld seemed to be a liability for them, at least during that shift. And Whitney, who's been wearing out the Warriors all night, will be the big guard. Parker will guard him. Ford against Romar. Whitney baseline left near the corner, back out to Ford, comes across the top, looks inside, nothing there. Now over to Lambert, open 15-footer on the right of the key, but it doesn't go, and Short climbs for the rebound. They could go for 8 in a row here if they can tally. Here's Romar forecourt, zips one to Short, dribbles, fakes, goes for the jumper. He's clobbered. They don't call anything. Here comes Ford with the ball, driving, fakes the pass, lays it in on a beautiful play. Lambert stripped Short of the ball, and the official just flat blew the call. And that is a pivotal play. There's a 4-point play. 84-74. That was pathetic. Here's Smith, top of the key. Over to Short on the right now. Bounce pass goes to Carroll, back to Short. Then deep to JB. Twist. Discouraged by Merriweather, shoots a hurried shot, no good. Parker leaps for the rebound and hooks it in with a superb effort underneath. 84-76. All right, Ford with the ball out high, top of the key. Picks up his dribble. Wings it over to Merriweather for a jumper over Carroll, and he hits. 16-footer. JB, Disdain coming out, decided to almost zone it off in the lane, and Merriweather plunked one. 86-76. Warriors still within striking distance. Smith out high against Reggie King. Back to Short. They've really taken away JB's game. Pass to JB, posting on the right. There's a lean in. Around and out, but he's fouled by Merriweather, who says to Gerritsen, he leaned into me. Cotton over there gives, and now Merriweather gets a warning from Darrell. Cotton Fitzsimmons, meantime, gave the 2 hands down sign of derision from the KC bench. JB, a little bit frustrated, faked, and then spun away. They said, however, that he leaned into the Kings were contending that he leaned in first before levering off for that little fadeaway twister, and he hits the first free throw. Carroll has 9 in the game, 5 in this quarter, 3 for 3 on the line. 86-77. Good. Didn't need the penalty. 86-78. They need the tight D now. Here's Ford up the floor. Romar glides along with him to the left side. Out to Merriweather on top. Back to Ford, looking to King. Ford shoots the open jumper and buries it. 18-footer. Ford has 10 in the quarter. 5 field goals. 88-78. So the Warrior rally now has lost a little of its continuity. Smith up high, looks for Carroll in low. Terrible pass, picked off by King. Good play by Reggie. Outlet now to Ford, top of the key jumper. Tips out. Merriweather grabs the rebound. Bounce it out on the side to Whitney. Drives right to left into the lane. Sees Reggie King. Dribbles to the 10-foot mark, and he's hacked by Short. And I think they give him 3 to make 2. We'll see. Yes, 3 to make 2. Short has picked up his 4th foul. Here's Grunfeld back for Whitney. They brought Whitney back in to stabilize things, and he had an effect. Lloyd Walton will come in for Ford. They've gotten their lead of 10 and can be 12 now. 28 seconds to go in this third quarter. Reggie King tonight already has 20. If he makes these 2, he'll have a new season high. He's got 1 that equals a season high of 21. Bernard King has been nullified by 4 fouls for a good part of this quarter, and he carried the Warriors' attacking load most of the game. Reggie misses, but he has a penalty. He's missed 6 of his free throw attempts tonight, but he's made 11. He's been on the line 18 times. Shot good. 90-78. Romar starts a walking dribble up the floor. 28 seconds in the quarter, 24 on the timer when he started. Romar works it out front. Warriors double stacking, break Short up high, 12 seconds of the shot clock. Now around to Parker. Carroll's being fronted in the low post. He takes a pass, turns into the lane with a jump hook that's down on an 8-footer. 90-80, 6 seconds now. JB getting a little momentum. Walton burns it up the floor, goes behind the back, top of the key, foul line. His jump shot is blocked from behind by Romar as the horn sounds, and the third quarter is history. The scoreboard showing KC 90, the Warriors 80. Who are down at 7 at halftime, by 7 at halftime, are down 10 going to the fourth quarter, so they lost 3 points in their quest. What that doesn't show, of course, is that they fell much farther than that behind. They were 15 down before they started a mild resurgence. They'd reached a 6-point run. They got it down to 8, and that's when that controversial no call on Short's jumper occurred, and he was hammered, lost the ball in a fast break hoop. Resulted for Kansas City on the other end, and that pretty much punctuated the Warriors' rally. We go to the fourth quarter. Wedman is back in the ball game now. Boy, that director really knows his shots, doesn't he? Here's Romar into the forecourt with the ball. Gives it up to Short on the left side. Now to Carroll behind Merriweather. Contests the ball, and a foul on Wedman. Wedman was trying to help. Now, that's what I was talking about, weak side defense you need, but he fouled. As Merriweather fronted Carroll, Joe Barry released behind him, took a looper. For a center to do that, he has to have the weak side forward, like Wedman, coming across, except that Scott fouled, and he didn't mean to. That's 5 on Wedman. That takes one of their threats out of the ball game. But that's why when you front a man in a deep post situation, your teammate must coordinate with you. Here's a drive by Bernard King to the foul line. His jumper wiggles out. The rebound taken off by Whitney. King made his first 10 tonight. Now to Walton. Speeds into the forecourt. Dishes a bounce pass. It rolls to Grunfeld. Back to Whitney. Now to Walton on the point. Comes across to the left. Little guy gives it back up to Whitney. Drives for the lane. Leans in. Scores on a 10-footer. Whitney with 14. Well, he's been a vital factor for the Kings tonight, taking up the slack with Birdsong out. 92-80. Bounce pass to Bernard in the right corner. Reggie drops off him. Bernard slides around the side with his dribble. Now takes up the slack, shoots a 20-footer. Good! Bernard with another hoop. 26 for King. And the king of the Kings has 22. That's Reggie. Walton on the left side. to Merriweather high post. Back to Walton in the corner. Looks into Reggie, not open. Then to Merriweather, swinging around to Grunfeld. Then to Whitney right side against Larry Smith. There's the open jumper. Two again. They are not getting up tight on him. You've got to get a hand in his face. He's too good a shooter. 94-82. Bernard on the left side for the Warriors now. Bounce pass of beauty into the post. But Carroll falls. I was screened out some on the play, and I'm not quite sure what happened. On the bounce pass, J.B. lost his footing, and the ball went out of bounds. And I'm not really quite sure how or why. I have to plead absolute ignorance on that one because I was screened out by about 5 players. Here's Walton. Goes on top to Whitney. Back to Walton. Open man, left corner. Jumps it. In and out. Rebound. Foul. Merriweather over the top. Larry Smith was fouled. He was inside. That's 4 on J.C. A lot of fouls tonight. Warriors have 5 on Ricky Brown, 4 on Short, 4 on Smith, 4 on Bernard King. Romar out high. Warrior bench hollering out the play. They're trying to set King on a high post. Romar can't get an angle. Goes to King now, deep to Joe Berry behind Merriweather. Twist, whirls, hooks good. Again, they loop one as Merriweather is fronting. It's 94-84, so the Warriors had to battle to get back within 10. They've got to have another run, maybe 6 in a row, and then suddenly you get into an anybody's ballgame syndrome. Walton with the dribble, out to Whitney, popping out high, coming out on him is Smith. Whitney drives right to the key, twists the body, leans in, shoots a jumper. It's an air ball. Merriweather after it, but it goes out of bounds while he was touching it. Or he went out of bounds while he was touching it would be the proper way to phrase it. In the third quarter, the Warriors shooting fell to a quickly plummeting 42% on 9 of 21, while the Kings maintained a hot pace of 55% on 10 of 18. Warriors actually out-rebounded him in the quarter, though, 15-8. Warriors 10 down. Changes now for KC. Lacey's back in at center. He's trying to lean on Carroll. JB takes it, deals inside to Bernard, and he's fouled by Merriweather, slicing through, and that's 5 on JC. Cotton Fitzsimmons pacing up and down the bench. Merriweather trying to pick up King as he flashed across. Leaned the right elbow into the small of the back. And now Leon Douglas, who really wasn't a major contributor in the first half, comes into the ballgame. He's a big, strong guy, but he's playing forward, and that's not a comfortable position for him guarding a smaller, quicker man. Short with the ball, looking for King. Bounce one to Carroll. Fakes a shovel pass, turn jumper. Good on a 12-footer. Carroll is beginning to get his rhythm now. He has 16, of which 12 have come since mid-third quarter. 94-86. They're back within 8 for the second time. Left side, Whitney on top to Walton. Guns it to Grunfeld. Fakes, dribbles to the right baseline. Now gives it out in the corner for Whitney, but he was out of bounds as he went on to shoot it in to no avail. He had touched the sideline. Turnover is beginning to hurt Kansas City right now. They had 7 in the first half to the Warriors' 10. The Warriors had another 9 in the third quarter to 6 for KC. Here's a bad pass that Bernard King saved. Bernard now deals left-handed to the left corner for Short. Rainbow. 2! And the Warriors close to 6. 94-88. Most valid trip they've had now since that awful drought in the early third quarter. Walton on the left side, back out on top to Lacey. Lacey playing a high post, bounces one in deep. It's kicked by Carroll. They'll get a new 24-second count. They're playing Douglas on a deep post. Larry Smith gives him a couple of inches in height, and Douglas is a basic pivot man by his background at Alabama and even at Detroit, although he played some forward there. Here's Walton, top of the key. They're double stacking. Watch the baseline. Here comes Grunfeld out. He's open. He guns the jumper over the double stack, and it doesn't go. And Smith knocks the rebound away from Douglas into the hands of Short. The Warriors could get it down to 4. King on the outside. Bernard drives. Bumped by Douglas. Back to Short. Short drives right to left. Foul line. Double team. Double clutch jumper. Won't go. Rebound hawked by Short, but he can't hold it. Lacey picks it up. Baseball pass down court. And Whitney is hammered. He was waiting as an early releaser, and Bernard King hammered him, and that's 5 on Bernard. He was looking to see the flight of the ball. Whitney had to wait for it as the ball hung in the air. And that's a common foul, a first Warrior team foul. Bernard was more intent, I think, on actually getting down to cut off Whitney, and he really didn't watch where Whitney had stopped. Bernard stays in the game. That's 5. Now, that could break the Warriors' momentum. Kansas City's Lacey out front against Carroll. Carroll talking on D. Down low to Douglas. Double team. Muscles it in. Slick move that time between Smith and J.B. So that broke the momentum a little bit. Romar comes up the floor now. Trying to get a flow going again. Ford is back in. Ford swarming at him into Carroll. Carroll backs up the dribble on the left, turns to the hoop. Lacey blocks the hook. King rebounds it, no good. Rebound batted out in the corner. Whitney going after it, tries a blind save. Goes through three people, right to Lacey. Up to Ford, burns the dribble, forecourt, shuffle step. Fires to Grunfeld. Now to Whitney. Romar knocks it away. Loose ball. Bernard after it. Whitney falls. Bernard driving up the floor on Lacey all the way. Lays it in. And Bernard King, a fine play that time. 96-90. Will anybody contest my contention that the Bernard King deal is the steal of the decade? 96-90. 7:30 to go. King for Cooper. That was a coup. Ford now with the ball. Over to Grunfeld on the left side. Deep to Lacey. Posting JB. Now to Grunfeld on a slice and he scores! Grunfeld that time. Going down the lane to Talley. With the Warriors having Purvis Short playing in the backcourt situation, he wasn't alert to that. Here's a pass now on top to King. Lobs one to JB. It's knocked away by him, but he picks it up. Whirls, shoots a 15-footer, but he's fouled by Douglas and he gets to the line. The Warriors here had been running his backcourt. I didn't really have time in the game to point it out. With Short moving in the backcourt, as I mentioned, Adels considered earlier. Lucas comes in for Romar now as Carroll on the line can cut it to 6 again. He's played the whole second half. Lambert is back in. And now Kansas City's going to that tall front line that was productive for them in the second quarter. And KC now will take a timeout. 6:58 to go. Scoreboard showing KC 98, the Warriors 90. Cotton Fitzsimmons pondering things now. The Warriors, with a somewhat unlikely lineup, battle their way back in from 15 down. They've got Kingno on eggshells with 5 fouls. After a 28-point ball game, Ricky Brown is now at the other forward. Larry Smith is out. Carroll wiggles one in. And they've got a backcourt of Short and Lucas. It was Short and Romar earlier in this quarter. Carroll with the next. He's got it, and JB now with 18, of which 14 have come since the half. 98-92. 6:50 to go. Here's Ford going in now to Lacey. Lacey fakes to Grunfeld. Lacey stops, almost walks, wings it over to Ford on the left. Back to Lacey. A lot of daylight. Doesn't want the shot. Wants to pass. Lambert not open inside. Over to Grunfeld on the right. Back on the point to Ford. 4 seconds. Stripped to the ball by Lucas. Lucas a steal. Takes off. Ford in front of it. Got a 2-on-1. Bounce to the trailer. Broken up by Grunfeld with a hustle play. They had Short on the trail position. Lucas dropped it off to him, but Grunfeld got there to knock it out, and the Warriors have the ball. Lucas read Ford that time. This is a rivalry. He got the ball down low. They go way back together. Pass into Carroll. Quick hook. Won't go. Curling out. He was off balance. Rebound Ford as he came down. What do they rule? They rule a jump ball between him and Lucas. Cotton Fitzsimmons doesn't react. Stands with arms folded. That time it was Ford in the pack of big men who got there first. Lucas waiting in the lane. Ford turned right into Luke, and what happened, Luke had the ball enough down in the midsection to get the jump call. The ball up. Ford tips to Grunfeld. Now back to Ford. So the Warriors again for the third time, failing to get it down to the 4-point mark. We're down at 6:18 to go. Grunfeld guarded by Short at the guard spot. Now to Ford. Bounce one inside. There's Douglas with a lean in. He bangs it too hard. Short the rebound. Now to Lucas. Again a chance to cut it to Ford. Lambert and Brown bumping each other as they go up the floor. Douglas guarding Bernard King. Carroll on the outside takes the pass. Whips it inside to Short. It's broken up. Comes right to Carroll. Back to Short. Dribbles to the lane. Goes for a jumper and gets a 13-footer. And the Warriors have it down to 4. Adels maintaining a calm demeanor right now. We have 5:45 to go. The Warriors trying to put together a Garrison finish. Ford runs a 1-4 out front now. Looking inside, nothing open. Now to Lacey up top. Lacey faces up. They got a whistle inside. They got Ricky Brown, and that'll be 6. He pushed Douglas. Ricky fouls out. At 5:36 to go. Larry Smith comes back. Wedman with 5 fouls is back for Kansas City. Whitney. So here's the lineup. They got Reggie King and Wedman with Lacey and Ford. 4 of their 5 starters. Whitney rounds it out at the guard. Short will guard Hawkeye now. Whitney with the ball. They scatter. He gives it to Ford out front. 98-94, Warriors lead it. Ford, shuffle step. Back to Wedman on top. Bernard comes at him with the hands upraised. Back to Lacey. Lacey pounds the dribble. Left-hand pass. Carroll breaks it up. Carroll gets a steal, makes a blind save. Try. Taken by Whitney. Knocked away. Gets it back. He shoots. It's short. Rebound out front. Bernard after it. So's Lacey. Bernard gets knocked kicking, and they rule it out of bounds. Kansas City. I've seen that play called loose ball before. Loose ball foul. They elected not to this time. 22nd timeout for King. Taking a look at a replay, Bernard and Lacey. No, I don't think there was any foul there at all. There wasn't. So the 22nd timeout is called here. Timeouts, full timeouts are 3 remaining for the Warriors and 2 for Kansas City, which could become a pivotal factor down the stretch. The one concern the comebacking team always has is whether the long comeback takes too much out in a stamina sense, and you just about catch up or sometimes get there, but can't carry on. It's as if a horse coming from off the pace flattens out in a stretch and can't put the finishing touch to it. All right, ready to go. Wedman will inbound to Lacey out high. They've made a gutty comeback here, though. Lacey dribbles against JB, takes him across the lane, feeds to the open man. It's Whitney, and he shoots no good. High as Larry Smith up the ladder for the rebound. Back to Luke, looks it up the floor, now to King. Bernard against Reggie, King against King. Dropped one up to Short, Short against Whitney. Carroll posting that open, now to King. Bernard drives, whirls on Reggie. Scores on a fullback 16-footer you wouldn't believe. 98-96. He's missed only one shot all night that I can recall. Here it is to Lacey, into the lane. Hook, bouncing once, twice, no good. And Larry Smith taking it off again, up to Lucas. Lucas to Short. Dribble drive on Hawkeye to the baseline. Stops, rises, shoots. Good, and they have tied it with 4.5 to go. And Hutton Fitzsimmons wants timeout. 4:31 to go. Scoreboard showing Warriors 98, Kansas City 98. 386,000 charged to your Visa or MasterCard. Warriors 62%, 8 of 13 in the quarter. Kansas City 36%, 4 of 11. Kansas City 3 minutes without a field goal. Ford open shot left corner. It's on the way. No good. Rebound taken by Lucas. Chance to move in front. Leads King. King driving. 2 men there. He lays it up. It doesn't go. Taylor chip no good by Smith. Battle for the rebound. A wild scramble. Whitman wins the wrestling match. Back out to Ford. Crowd pleasing. Par excellence. Ford into the right corner. The Warriors lost the chance to take the lead. Now to Wedman. Open. Gunning. Gunning. 198. Kansas City back out in front. Lucas into the fourth court with the ball. Out on the right side. Now on top to Short. Will the Warriors flatten out here? Reggie and Bernard having a tremendous battle inside. Bernard fell. Now Carroll shoots a whirling jumper, and he's hacked by Lacey, and he gets 2. No, that'll be 3 to make 2. That'll be team foul number 5. Yes. JB to the line. The free throwing for each team tonight, less than delightful to their coaches. Kansas City is 20 of 34. The Warriors are 20 of 35. First shot missed. He has 2 to make 2 now. JB settles down, shoots an extra, no good! Carroll can't tie it now. He had made 6 straight in the second half. He could be feeling the strain of playing the entire second half. It's that backup problem at center again for the Warriors. It could be a subtle factor. Now, they hoot, they howl. He misses! Hat trick! And now with 3:37 to go, Kansas City leading by 2. Battles checking on the timeouts. He senses that fatigue problem, too. Ford with the ball. Over to the right side of Whitman. Down low to Reggie King. Knocked away and out of bounds. But it's off Larry Smith, who's playing Reggie. Ready to inbound now will be Reggie King. Out to Whitman on the right. He's got an open jumper, and he buries it. Whitman has hit 2 straight. Up the floor, Lucas trailing 102-98. Now the Warriors have to try to reach back for that one last burst down the stretch. 3:12 to go. Bernard now on the right side. The Warriors looking a little tired. Bernard dribbling to the foul line, into the lane, dumps a pass to Carroll, and he jams it. Creative play by Bernard King. And Carroll now with 20. 102 to 100. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Here's Ford with the ball. Lacey takes a high post pass. Looks to the right, nothing there. Now fires to Wedman. He dribbles, fades away from Bernard, bounces one to Reggie, broken up, and a dive by Larry Smith fails to get it. Reggie does. We got a whistle. They say it went out. They say it went out off Reggie King. After Larry hit it, fans throw ice on the floor. The question is not, yes, Reggie did have a piece of the ball apparently, but I don't know. I'd have to look at that replay 5 times. It looked to me like if it went out, it went off Larry, but I really haven't had a chance to look at it that well. Lucas on the right side. Chance to tie again. 2:28 to go. Out on top to Short. Then to Bernard. Drives. He and Reggie collide. Oh, they called fouling on King. Now, can you tell me there wasn't somebody's foul on that? That's just like that play we had the other night in Utah. The 2 guys hammer each other. I don't care who you want to call it on. Somebody fouled there. That's pathetic. 102 to 100. All right, Kansas City leading. Ford with the ball, top of the key. Out in the right corner to Whitney. Back to Lacey, foul line, then into the lane. Reggie's shot blocked by Carroll. Lucas comes out of the air with the ball, falling down, gets it to Short. Chance to tie. 2:05 to go. Now Lucas drives into the lane, pulls up, lobs one to Carroll on the right. Offense not really balanced up. Now to Luke, 13 seconds of the shot clock. Carroll trying to post, being denied. Lucas tries to get an angle. They front Carroll. Pass to Bernard, top of the key, 7 seconds. Bernard backs in, whirls, the jumper. Good! Bernard's 32 points. 102 all. We've got 147 to go. And you wonder why NBA basketball is what it is. Here's Ford with the ball. Back to Whitney. Out on top. Better get those tickets ordered right away. Now to Lacey. Top of the key. Then to Wedman. Foul line. Fakes. Leans in. Bangs one. No good. Inside. It's Bernard with the ball. Warriors with a chance to lead. Bernard King. Maybe benefited by that long stretch on the bench. Didn't want to be there because the foul's forced him there. But it's held. Bernard out front with the ball. Looking to Short, trying to post Whitney, not open. Carroll comes high to pass to Short. Deep baseline. Fakes once. Nobody goes for it. 6 seconds of the shot clock. Brings it back out. Now to King. Has to take a long one. And it was forced. It's no good. The rebound. Oh, Larry Smith. Smith was outside Wedman, went over his back. That's the last foul without penalty for the Warriors. That's 5 on Larry. Kansas City ball. 102 apiece. Wedman had the inside position all the way, and Larry Smith over the back. King had to force the shot up and hurry it. Now here's Ford coming into the fourth court with the ball. Ford top of the key, bounce pass to Wedman. Wedman's jumper from 18. In and out, heartbreak. Carroll gobbles up the rebound, and again the Warriors have a chance. This will be the 3rd time they've had a chance to take the lead, but first we'll have a timeout call. 53 seconds left to go. Warriors 102, KC 102. From 15 down in the middle of the 3rd quarter. Their biggest deficit was 78-63. They started the 4th quarter 10 down. Now here we go. Carroll high post. Redmond is guarding Larry Smith. Reggie King's on Bernard King. Lucas top of the key, back door to Short. A gamble play broken up, and it goes out of bounds off Wedman. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Didn't have a good angle. The defense really had cut off the angle for the alley-oop. Now the Warriors really in a bind. 6 seconds. Baseline left of the goal. They need a very quick out-of-bounds execution. Kansas City ready to put on the tight D. Now Larry Smith inbound to Short out on the perimeter. Short dribbles. Shoots a jumper from 20. Good! And the Warriors take the lead. That's tonight's mystery score. Warriors 104, Kansas City 102. Write it down. Listen to Frank Dillon, Mike Cleary in the morning between 6 and 10 on KNBR. Find out how you can win $50 cash from KNBR. Sponsored by Bart. Wedman now cross court on the right to Ford. Ford into the lane area. Falls away, then bounces one to Reggie. Reggie loses the ball. Carroll's got it. 17 seconds. They don't have to give it up. Timeout, Warriors. So the Kansas City Kings come up empty in the position they needed to tie the game. The Warriors played defense exceptionally well, particularly with the idea that they could not afford to foul. Otherwise, Kansas City would have had at least one of the penalty to tie it. And that was an excellent play by J.B. Carroll. as it looked at first as if Ford was going to coil the body, go up and fake, and then fire the jumper. The daylight was taken away. He went inside to Reggie King, and as he tried to put the move on Bernard, lost control of the ball, and J.B. gobbled it up with the quickness of a little man. 104-102 Warriors. Now the Warriors have called the timeout after the transition. They can take the ball out in the rear court, or they can take it out at side center court. They have that option. They've not shot free throws as a team real well tonight, although, of course, part of that's because Lloyd Free hasn't been in here. He's the guy who shoots best on the team in the clutches as a rule, and gets on the line more than anybody in the league except Anthony and Moses Malone. There is still the specter, of course, of a steal. Kansas City would also now be looking to take a foul if they have to. If they can't get a steal quickly, they'll take a foul on somebody that they would feel was a good percentage to miss. Now, Carroll just missed 3 in a row. Larry Smith's a low 60% shooter. There's some ice on the floor here that has to be picked up. Some disgruntled fans have thrown out. Really, of the 5 men on the floor, Short and Lucas are the 2 they would prefer not to foul. They've got Lambert in the game. The Warriors will inbound from the rear court, not half court. They'll make them foul him in the back court if they have to. Lambert does foul Larry Smith. They forced them to pass to one of the lower percentage shooters, and Lambert took the foul immediately. But the Warriors made a wise decision by inbounding in the rear court, because rather than 1 in a penalty, they've now got 3 to make 2. Larry Smith tonight, 2 for 4 on the line. The whole team has sputtered at the line, as have the Kings. 14 seconds left. He needs at least 1 to put it. Here's the shot, number 1, no good. 2 to make 2, and Al Attles fringes. Remember, if he gets none of them, Kansas City has a shot to tie it or win it. A 3-point play could win it. No good. And now the pressure really comes down to Larry Smith. This one is not tucked away at this point by any means. Kansas City now will call timeout if they get the rebound probably. The crowd roars. He misses the air ball. Timeout, Kansas City. Larry Smith puts his head in his arms in dejection, and now the Warriors are vulnerable as Al Attles just watched victory perhaps flutter right out of his fingertips. 6 straight free throw misses between Carroll and Larry Smith. Now what the Warriors have got to do is gather their emotions back to try to take away another possession from Kansas City. We'll see what Cotton Fitzsimmons will do. He'll make a lineup change. He's got good shooters in there. The first concern is to tie it. He's not going to shoot a 3-point shot from a low percentage area. If he can get something better to tie it up, or even better yet from Kansas City standpoint, to draw a foul and get a good free throw on the line for at least 1 and a penalty. Warriors have outscored Kansas City 24-12 in the period. But KC went for over 3 minutes, closer to 4 without a field goal. And that's when the Warriors got back in the ballgame. So free throwing has been a wrench here for both teams tonight. And most notably for the Warriors, who could have this thing locked away had J.B. and Smith, at least in each case, made just 1 of the 3. But that's part of the game. Lucas calls the team together out by the foul line. Attles comes out for some final words. Kansas City will go with Reggie King, Wedman at the forwards, Lacey at center, Ford and Hawkeye Whitney in the backcourt. Any of them pretty good shooters from particular spots. Larry Smith will guard Reggie. Bernard King will be on Wedman. Short, playing a guard, is on Whitney. Lucas on Ford. They'll inbound 14 seconds. It comes to Lacey. Back out to Ford. 12 seconds. Ford across the right to Whitney. Fakes right, drives left, leans in. Jumper, 10 feet. Good. 7 seconds to go. Whitney with a little fake. Took up the slide for the dribble. Short didn't want to get up there and hammer him. He gave him fair pressure, but there was enough daylight for Whitney, a good shooter, to bury one. Hawkeye with 18 points tonight. And now with 7 seconds to go, the Warriors face the same situation that Kansas City did a moment ago. Whitney faked short, got him backpedaling a little bit, took the slack right up against him, and then pumped it in. If we go overtime, it'll be the Warriors' first overtime this year. But they haven't won an overtime game since March of 1978. They had an incredible 0-8 in overtimes a year ago. All right, both teams are out of timeouts in the remainder of regulation time. If anybody has trouble getting the ball in, there is no recourse to a timeout. That's why it becomes an important thing to comment on with 7 seconds left to go. Do the Warriors have one more left? That's the irony of basketball. The easiest shot in the game, at least seemingly, with the only shot where nobody guards you, and the Warriors missed 6 in a row. King will inbound, challenged by Reggie King, right side midcourt. The Warriors don't have a perimeter shooter out there except for Short, so they'll be trying to really keep it away from him. Short coming high, being overplayed. Lob pass, he gets it out high. He dribbles. Hawkeye Whitney on him. Twist, jump shot. Good! 3 seconds to go. Kansas City doesn't have a timeout. 106-104. Short from on top. Oh, they have a 20-second timeout left. They can take that. That's no longer an injury timeout. Now Adams gathering the Warriors around quickly. 3 seconds to go. The Warriors by 2. Short from the top of the key. Thought Whitney did a great job of putting pressure on him without committing the foul. Terrific job, and Short did a brilliant job. Whitney took it up as close as he could without fouling him. In fact, Purvis had to slightly lean in and lever off on that 18-footer, and it was nothing but net. Short with 10 of his 22 points in this quarter. Bernard King with a 32-point ball game for the Warriors. Adams now making a substitution. He's bringing Sonny Parker into the game. They will have to inbound in the rear court. Adams trying to tell the Warriors how to play. He doesn't want them pressing. He wants them all ready to meet at half court. Here's the pass coming up the floor. Ford gets around Parker, loses control of the dribble, gets it back, throws it up, and it is over. It's over. Short had contact with him, but by that time the clock had run out, and the Warriors have won the ball game. A spectacular, unbelievable comeback here with World Free sitting at home, agonizing with his ball club 15 down. They manufactured a comeback to win it and go 3 over the 500 mark. Purvis Short hitting a clutcher from 18 feet. And the final, Warriors 106, Kansas City 104.